Welcome to Proscenium 360, and today's topic is currency. What you're about to witness is a three-round exchange of concepts and poetics between Scorpio from Tampa and Daniel DeMonte from Orlando. But first, the coin toss. What do you have?
Heads.
Okay. Tails it is.
Yeah. Let's go, to be honest. What is materialistic wealth worth to the people who are forged in the skin of God? Melanin so rich they kill us for it. Black, the true kin of the Mother Earth, the descendants from fallen stars, my ancestors. They were supernovas, blooming oh so bright. True wealth, the knowledge coming out of the pineal gland. Did you know that your skin was conscious? Did you know that every black man, every black woman is a kingdom? Walking because knowledge is power. And if our skin is conscious, and that means we have knowledge within our skin and our bones wrapped around this creation of cosmos in human form. My melanin is so powerful. Whatever happened to our soul being the wealth that we use to share with nations? When did Babylon's money take hold? When did it start choking out this system around my neck like a noose held up tight? When did money become so evil?
We bartered in the beginning, trading services for the good, fruits in exchange for vegetables, a piece of the pie or a piece of the land. We had coins then, of clay, copper, silver, gold, followed by paper money, backed by silver dollars. Now, it's all fiat, representative, only viable by government decree, leaving us like a child trying to grasp the wind. What does it mean to be free? And I've been wondering if we are indeed chasing dollars or just running from poverty. What price do you put on an hour of your time, a year, ticking to the grave, work your life away and leave with a negative balance like a financial cemetery? Do you know how much time it takes for a black or brown child to reach the same financial stability that most white children are born into? When did cash become king and trades blue collar, currency on the clock, ticking at me senseless, pennies falling off the arms? Tell me, what is your life worth? Is it $7.25 an hour, or 8 hours a day, or just enough to keep the clock ticking?
Round two.
We were rich before the slave auctions. Today it feels like blockchain is a modern day underground railroad, and this is the spirit of Queen Harriet Tubman. The legacy lives on, pushing forward so that we can reach equity, true economic freedom from our community. Because all we see is Rothschild on every corner, blinding us, keeping our eyes misguided so that we can't see the truth. The crypto code been head tight in a matrix like hieroglyphs. We can't read it, only Pharaoh knows what these languages mean. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to decipher everything I can. But it gets hard after a while to read Rosetta Stone. So I stay up on YouTube late at night, trying to understand how I get this Bitcoin to take a bite at their plate, so I can get the wealth that they had. Because one day I want the steak. One day I don't want to eat the bones all alone in that corner of my room, hoping that one day I can see what they got to see with that wealth that they have in their pockets.
In this life, you fall before you fly. And I've been falling for about a year. Arms stretched out on each side, learning to fly, but always falling, and it ain't no safety net. And I know I'm blessed, but call me ungrateful for still being distressed, but I'm just trying to make sure that my mama ain't stressing. It only gets harder. Debt getting deeper. My car need a new starter. I got my city on my back, and I gotta go harder. I mean, what happens to us poets? Non-academic, with no place in the college. When poetry ain't paying bills, so we left out here chasing dollars, forced to eat from the white man's hand, and my job only paying $9 an hour. And my boss supports Trump. Looks at me like, boy, you brave the way you walk freely on my land, and it feels like I'm alone in this world, like I spent too much time watching the clock ticking, speaking when I should listen, and chasing chickens, and it feels like ain't nobody checking for me after I check this mic, because what happens to us poets who never learn to live this normal life, us poets who never learn to fly, who can't live the type of life that we can write? I mean, does it matter if I fall flat as long as I soar behind the mic, because I've been falling my whole life.
So what do I say now? Now we talk. Let's have a discussion.
So
So now third round is a discussion.
All right, third round is a discussion of these concepts. So this is a community discussion, right?
So yeah. So this is a 3-minute long session amongst the community to discuss what type of content was just exchanged amongst these poets. And it starts off with the two poets exchanging with each other about your appreciation or your lack of appreciation or your comprehension of the content in which they just shared.
And
And
then we'll fall in.
we want to start it after this.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that goes. So take a deep breath.
Yeah,
I know.
fire.
Take a
Y'all
deep
got bars, man.
Daniel, do you
Made it.
Bars.
You want to just slide? Yeah, just I just want to see how it looks.
Okay.
All right, y'all ready?
First of all, you already know it's all love, Scorpio. I want to say thank you for coming out here and speaking on what you did, especially when you speak about what are the poets supposed to do? Because that's something like we ask a lot. How we even make money off of this form of art, even though we don't really like selling art because it feels like selling our soul. Poets got to eat at the end of the day. There's bills to pay. You got the car note, like you said. You got to eat.
Yeah,
That was definitely real. I definitely understood what you meant with that. Felt that.
And I appreciate where you're coming from with just the way the minority experience of the dollar and how it's different from what the dollar in a dream is supposed to be when when we're seeing the banks getting richer when we're staying down here. You know what I'm saying? I think I definitely identify with that perspective of the the outside looking in on it and then from the bottom looking up. You know what I mean? I mean you've grown a lot. You know what I mean? It's all love.
Coach.
I really like the balance of abstract versus concrete, and how like you're talking about concrete things in an abstract way, and then how you just bring it like it's solid, it's concrete. This is exactly what it is. This is exactly what we're going through. Like you said something about being able, like not being able to live where we write, and that hit me because it's like a lot of times when we write, we want to be abstract, we want to get away, we want to put it, get to these levels that people are born in, and we don't always have that luxury. And you hit me with the Harriet Tubman, I was like, no. Yeah, man, this was amazing.
As far as currency and the ancestors, can you explain? Is there?
Definitely.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the thing that I was really trying to represent within my piece is that before we started selling paper that has metaphorical currency, because the whole time currency is subjective now, it's just objects. But back in the day when you had the Egyptians, you had to ask some Camites, the people from those plains, their currency was their knowledge, their wisdom, them being able to tap into the source and then give you the energy that they got from the astral planes. That was currency to them. It was more of a spiritual currency. How much good have you done onto your brothers and sisters so that you have wealth in the afterlife, not just looking at this life in general.
I think it's also important to know the concept of both being artists and people who are creators, and that being kind of like your selling point, but also being a person of color as well. And it's kind of hard in this world where, like you said, things are real, you got bills to pay, you got things to do, and the world kind of pushes you away from that artistic creation and that artistic expression. Especially being an artist and having that be part of you, it makes you feel like what you have to offer is almost invaluable in a sense. Everybody wants you to be a doctor or a lawyer or something practical, but this is just much of your heart, or this is just much of an important thing as something a little bit more lucrative. And I feel like that was just really interesting to see from both perspectives.
I really appreciated how both of you all went like really far back in history and really brought it all the way to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency isn't even in full bloom yet, and you all have already like covered all the bases of the different formulations and how the relationship with currency has changed over time.
Yeah. I think one of the factors that I really enjoyed was when you did tie the spiritual with the financial. Many people don't equate the two. I think it's important. And the part that really for you got me as well was the concept of understanding that there are people that walk around thinking that this is land that we can't walk on as well. So when you spoke about having, you know, the Trump supporting boss, I can relate. You know, I've been there in my past, you know, so I really appreciate what the different perspectives you guys came from. It was real solid.
Yeah, the big question to me, you know, that stood is what is wealth and what is currency, and defining that and really articulating that, perhaps doing a paradigm shift, you know, especially during these times. I was almost brought to tears to see two young, talented creators, you know, go at it, but almost exactly aligned, like perfectly aligned, you know, in terms of mind, heart, and even your gut. What your gut tells you is right or wrong. You know, we often live in this world where we don't know what our baseline is or what our starting point is. And it really spoke to me how you were able to present how from the get-go, you know, black and brown children, you know, from the moment they're born, are so far behind in terms of what this society defines as wealth. You know, however, there's so much abundance and so much that we have that's rooted in our heritage, and just that certainty of where we came from, and that we do belong.